Hey guys, what's going on? This is Ray with Follow My Lead. So I wanted to jump on and just talk about, it was Memorial Day weekend. I did a little bit of traveling, had my dog with me, my family, my daughter, all that good stuff. And, you know, something came to me about dog parenting. You know, let's just call it what it is. You know, for years we called it dog ownership, this type of thing, right? You're the owner of the dog, that type of thing. But I think in order for you to relate in a way that you can, you know, that's easier to understand, it's not that we just own the dogs, but dogs need a certain level of parenting, and there's levels of parenting depending on the type of dog that you have as well. But I think with that, with dog parenting and understanding, okay, this is my dog. It's not a rabbit. It's not a turtle. It's not a bird. You know, those are all lovely animals. But dogs have done something different as far as a relationship with humans over the past, you know, hundreds of years. So we have to kind of look at that and also take that into consideration when we talk about the parenting factor. You're not just owners of the dog, but you're parenting, right? That dog, you're giving that dog guidance so you can have that dog in a domesticated situation, right? So as a family dog, you need that dog to understand how it should act and react in certain situations, right? So that's part of dog parenting, right? So, and dog parenting is similar in a lot of ways to parenting of a child or baby, but they're very different. They're the same, but they're very different. I got my daughter with me here. It's okay, peanut butter, right? So, but I want to just kind of talk for a second, if I can, about people telling fibs about their dogs or lying, right? So they're either telling fibs or lying about their dog. My dog was so caught up in, you know, my dog's a really good dog. My dog is such a sweetheart, right? And all those things are great. I believe those for most dogs that they have that you know, that there's some type of that sweetheart side maybe there for them. I believe probably 99.9% of them are good dogs. So those are kind of characteristics that we understand. But if we're gonna bridge this gap between human and dogs, especially when it comes to children, we have to keep it real. We have to keep it real, and we have to stop telling fibs about our dog, because we put our dog in situations that they're not able to handle, right? And then the dog reacts and somebody gets hurt, okay? So as dog parents, we have to do a better job of advocating for our dogs. And you know, it's very similar for advocating for our children. There's just certain things that go on that we don't need our dog to be a part of. Okay? There's certain things that go on that you don't need your dog. You don't have to prove that your dog is a good dog in that situation. There's no need for it, right? If you do that, right, this then becomes a training situation, and that's okay. But understand that it's a training situation, and you're teaching your dog how to be a domesticated dog. I'll give you an example. So I took my dog on a road trip with me, and usually when I have cookouts and those type of things at my house, my dog's always out. When my dog is out, it's out and it's just laying down in a place. It picks a corner, and I don't allow anybody that comes into my environment, the house, to touch or pet or even talk to the dog. I want my dog to be able to commingle, right, and be around. That's fine, but I don't need anybody interacting with the dog. Okay, So we couldn't get that same thing. My family was nice enough that they allowed us to have the dog in our house, in their house, which was great. Brand new house, by the way, that they just purchased. We had a cookout over there. And what I had to do was, because the people there did not understand my rules, right? And I usually have rules. People know when they come to my house, there's rules. There's certain rules for me as a dog parent that I need you to understand before you enter my home. So I don't have those rules. They don't know those rules with me. We're having a cookout, so there's a lot of new people in the environment. The people there knew, of course, right? My family there, they knew the rules, but the outside people did not know the rules. So there became a certain level of dog parenting that I had to do, because there was a lot of children around, okay? And children, depending on their age, don't know what they should be doing with the dog. And you have to teach them. So I had to not only dog parent, but I had to parent as well for children, or teach them and say, hey, listen, this is what you should be doing with the dog. They want the dog to do a certain thing, you know, they want to see the dog do tricks and this type of thing, but you have to teach them that that's not what the dog's there for. The dog's not there for entertainment. The dog's not there for you to pull the dog out and do certain commands for them, and that's not what it's about for the dog. If you want your dog to be comfortable in those environments, you have to educate the children or the adults, and you also have to make sure that your dog understands what it should be doing. And then you can take the dog everywhere with you. But in order to be for the parenting to be successful as a dog parent, you have to make sure that you're advocating for your dog. So they wanted to walk up on the dog, they want to talk. No, that's not okay. You can't do that. No, you can't pet the dog. No, you can't give the dog food. No, don't tell the dog commands because you heard me give the dog a command. Any of that stuff, you need to be able to advocate for your dog. If you can't do that, you're gonna lose cool points with your dog, right? And your dog's only going to be able to handle a certain amount of pressure, because it's looking to you to say, hey, do you have this for me? If I get uncomfortable, can you help me out? Can you see that I'm getting uncomfortable? If you're not able to do that, you shouldn't put your dog in certain situations, because when your dog gets uncomfortable and the pressure is too high, it doesn't matter how good the dog is, the dog can react. And when dogs react, they bite, okay? They growl, they snarl, all those things, right? A dog will show. So we don't want our dog to show those things, so we have to help the dog out, right? So you need to be able to advocate, feel comfortable with advocating for your dog, right? And you have to do that on the regular basis. As a dog parent, you have to be able to say yes, no, 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 yes. Okay? If you can't, you'll lose cool points with your dog. Your dog doesn't have to prove that it's good to somebody else that it just met for whatever reason. There's no reason for you to do that. Just because your dog is able to get pet by somebody, right, 100 times, it doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable with the person that it doesn't know for the 101st time. So you don't have to force the dog into that situation. Why do I need to let somebody pet my dog that's never going to see my dog again? That's never going to interact with the dog ever again? Why? It doesn't have to. The only thing I need to do is have my dog set up for success and be comfortable in those surroundings, right? And make sure it's doing what it's supposed to, right? And really, it's just minding its own business, okay? So be comfortable advocating for your dog. Don't feel like, as a dog parent, you have to put your dog in a situation to prove that it's a good dog. Because the minute that you do that and you're trying to prove that it's a good dog, could be a game changer for you. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary for somebody to walk up and they say, oh, is this a friendly dog? That you have to then prove to them by them petting the dog that the dog's friendly. There's no reason for that. You